this is Jill. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to January 2023. Wow, the YouTube hop that a cherry on top does every month. And this month we are focusing on the theme of all about me. So I think it's really appropriate for the beginning of the year. I'm thinking about what I want for myself in the new year, but I'm also thinking that what I'm going to do for my scrapbook page for this video is really about favorites at this time, because I think it's fun at the beginning of a new year to see where you're at and what you like and what you're focusing your attention on. And so I already got a little bit of a start with this, but there's a lot that I still want to do, and I want to actually kind of work with some of my favorite products, so I can talk about that a little bit in the course of the video. And okay, so let's just jump in. This year I want to work quite a bit in a traveler's notebook. I feel like last year I did all different formats, and I probably will again this year, but I want a little more consistency in a traveler's notebook. My word for 2023, my focal word is steady. And so I want to like just really steadily add to inserts. And as you know, you can get blank inserts or inserts from companies and kit clubs and so forth that give you some already printed pages or prompts. There are lots of possibilities, and I have quite a stash in that area, so that's what I want to work with. So let me just say a few things about some favorites. I absolutely love washi tape, so I'm going to show you like how I'm going to use some washi tape on this page. Even though I feel like it's a small format and there's not necessarily a lot of room, I like to just layer it, stack it up, and so I'm going to plan to do some of that on this page. I haven't really thought out too much about this page yet, so we'll just kind of see how it evolves. And then I also love watercolor, and I usually find some way to bring it in. This is a set that I've really been fond of over the holiday season called Shimmering Lights from Prima, and it's got some great golds. And so since there's gold foil on the specialty paper I'm going to use, I'll probably, maybe not on camera, but in the final stage, I'm going to splatter a little gold. So looking forward to that. It's one of the things I love. Really, really love stamps and stamping. And so I pulled out some stamps from a Cherry on Top shop. I love Distress Oxide. The color scheme I've chosen for this page is mainly blues, and I'm going to put a little shot of purple in. I love fountain pens. That's on my list of loves. And so I used a fountain pen inked up with an ink called Jingleberry from Diamine. And so that's a purpley ink. And so I'm working with a kind of turquoise, blue, and this purpley color. Besides loving stamps, I also love stencils, another one of my favorites. So I'm going to, I think, start with the stenciling, and then that way, I mean, stamping and stenciling for me go together, and you can certainly stamp and then stencil, or the other way around. I think I'm going to just put a few bits of this handwriting stencil on here, which seems appropriate given one of the loves that I listed being fountain pens and fountain pen ink, color in general. Okay, so let me grab, this is Seedless Preserves. It looks kind of gray because I've had the stamp pad for so long. I think the newer ones would be a little brighter than that. Okay. So I'm just taking an applicator tool with some foam on it. And I like to go kind of like with stencils, like right up to the edge from the edge. Same thing if I'm just applying some watercolor to the page. So there, that gives it a nice little artsy look there at the bottom. Okay, I know I'm going to be putting, I'll say a little bit more about the specialty paper in a minute. I'm going to be putting that down here, but let's get a little bit of the stencil up in this corner. Some of it will be covered up. That's okay. That's all just in the fun of layering. Yeah, it definitely gives a little pop to the page. And then I'm going to go a little bit up here. Again, the photo is going to cover some of it. This is obviously a selfie, self-portrait. Okay, so we got some stencil and some good seedless preserve oxide on the page. Since I know, let me say a little bit about this. Often scrapbook paper lines have specialty papers. I thought this one was really, really cool. This is from Print Shop by Vicki Boutin, and it's got text, and then it's also got these circles with butterflies and with prompts and with numbers. So I could, if I were doing a larger page especially, use the numbers along with love this. But I'm working kind of small format. So I'm just going to adhere to love it this, and then that'll be over my list of current favorites. So I want it to be pretty close to the type, and since it's vellum, I'm just going to use a tiny attacher and hope it has staples, and pop this in. Okay, and let's go ahead and adhere the photo. As I said, a recent selfie. You can see I'm all bundled up. It's appropriate for winter. Okay, where do I want to make sure enough of that shows? Go. And I took another piece from that. I love this indigo to go with my coat, and the gold. And in this case, we don't really need to staple because I can put some adhesive under here. That should hold it just fine, given how light they are. There. Okay, so that's that step. I'm obviously looking at this at an angle and trying to see if I can get it straightened up a bit more. There. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so the next thing I think that I want to do is a little stamping, and I pulled out a few sets. One set, I just want to use the snowflakes, and so I'll do that a little bit later in the process. These are both from Catherine Pooler, and this is the Cozy Thoughts with the beverage jugs, which I love, thermos and so forth. I've already used this on a more Christmassy layout. And then there's a Nordic Borders, and I love border stamps. And this is borders that I think look kind of wintry, hence the Nordic. So I want to bring some of this color of blue over to this side. So I'm going to start inking it up with that color. But I want a little bit of the peacock feathers, which is kind of this color, on both sides. So I think I'm just going to throw some of that color down there too. And let's see how we want to do this. I probably could have waited to staple that down, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. Get off my desk. Yeah, and as usual, I want to balance it out. And since we have so much of this color over here, I'm going to do more of this up on the top. Give this just kind of a little bit of an artsy look, artsy flair. There. Yeah, I like to work in threes. Let's get a little bit, just a tiny bit down here. I'm using, since this is a long stamp, I'm using a Tim Holtz grid block. They come in all different sizes. Okay, I'm just going to get that messy if I try to do that. I'm actually going to go like right over the edge of the photo. There. Cool. Okay, so it's definitely getting this kind of eclectic, messy look that I like. Now for the washi tape. Washi tape, gold splatters, and sequins, I think, are the last things I want to use. I'm going to start. This isn't a perfect match. This is from Jen Hadfield's Stardust. I always want to call it by the wrong name. It's a little bit different green. So I'm just going to put a little bit and put it at the bottom. because I think it's gonna, I wonder if I even want to use that color. Okay, I'm gonna put that off to the side for now. You're really watching me make decisions here. I definitely want to use some of this charcoal color. This is from a great new line by Simple Stories called Basics, something along the lines of Basics, and these are the winter tapes, and you can get them in different seasons, which I think is really cool. So for now, I'm just going to put it on the top of the notebook, which is fine because it's a black and white cover. Blends right in. Okay. I pulled this blue from my stash because it seemed like a really nice match. So I think I'll put that on next. As I said, when I use washi, I often just like to apply it along edges. I just like to create borders with it, create a little bit of texture, and certainly color. There's so many beautiful colors of washi out there. And this picks up the purpley pink without being, you know, super matchy-matchy. So it's a little bit different. There. And this then is just a quick and colorful and happy notebook page. So as I said, I don't think I'll do this on camera, but I'm going to like sprinkle some sequins to kind of join the two pages. I love these Catherine Pooler collections. Sophia, Oslo, I think will be nice to pick up the blues. Kyoto will get some darker blues in there. So yeah, so you can eventually see this page on Instagram, and it will be in its final form with just a few sequins and some of the shimmering watercolor. But thanks for joining me on this hop, and be sure to hop along with the other creators today and see what they're doing about themselves here at the beginning of 2023. Happy New Year, everyone.